Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show. We'll be covering everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting episode for you guys. You definitely want to stick around for it, so please make sure you go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, today we got an interesting topic, right? We're going to be talking about Stephen A. Smith. Why are we talking about Stephen A. Smith? We're talking about Stephen A. Smith because a story broke about 24 hours ago. And about 24 hours ago, there was a story out there of Stephen A. Smith reportedly complaining on ESPN First Take that he's not earning enough money, or rather, he feels that he's underpaid. Now, it is no question whatsoever that Stephen A. Smith is undoubtedly the face of ESPN, right? He is the face of that network. He seems to be the number one guy at the network, and he's like, in terms of analysts, he's always out there, on every big story. He's the one talking about it, especially on the NBA side of things. We also know, based on some of the things that he said in the past, that Stephen A. Smith is a capitalist, right? He's a capitalist, and he believes in, wanting to make a lot of money, and, he wants to maximize his opportunities. He's also spoken about the fact of how he, wants to do more than just sports. He wants to get into late night talk shows. He just started his own podcast that he recently started. I don't remember the name of it. So the guy wants to do a plethora of things. But this story, for whatever reason, is taken. It seems to have created a lot of conversation. So initially, when I heard about the story, I didn't really hear where he said it. Right now, I saw publications of the quote of him saying it, but I actually wanted to see the video. And after doing a little bit of research, we were able to find that audio of him talking about it on ESPN, and we found it on YouTube. So what we want to do is we want to play his exact comments for you so you can hear him say it himself. And then we're going to come back and react to it. So take a listen to what Stephen A. Smith had to say here, and then we'll come back and react to it.
We are still black in this country. We don't trust this country in terms of meritocracy always. We know the bottom line is that just like women are underpaid compared to male counterparts, blacks are underpaid compared to white counterparts. And so when you look at it from that perspective, and of course, people look at me, I'm not talking about me, even though I got news for you. I am underpaid compared to some people on television and what they get paid, but that's a subject for another day. I ain't apologizing for that to a damn soul. I am underpaid. Having said all of that, it ain't about me.
So you heard what he had to say there. Let me tell you, man, it takes a lot of cojones to go on your own network and basically call them out on live air. It takes a lot of cojones to go out there and do that. But anyway, you heard what he said, right? He feels that he is underpaid, and it is something that he's not going to hide his feelings about, right? So you heard that. Now, what I ended up doing was I wanted to be sure on the exact type of contract that Stephen A. Smith had. So I did some research, and I found a publication from the New York Post that I want to read a little bit of. So the article basically starts off saying the $12 million truth about Stephen A. Smith's deal. Quite frankly, Stephen A. Smith is being paid. Smith's contract is $12 million per year, according to sources. As the Post previously reported, Smith's personal salary is $8 million a year, which is correct, but he also has $4 million per year production contract. That makes the total compensation of the contract that he signed in late 2019, a 5-year, $60 million deal. The Athletic reported Smith's $12 million total compensation number. ESPN declined to comment. This has become relevant because Maria Tiller's contract with ESPN is up on July 20th, and she has been looking for Smith-type money. He's making about $1 million a month, right? Which is a lot of money, but it's also it's quite relative. But anyway, he's making $1 million a month. So what I ended up doing was I wanted to see if there was some truth to what he was saying, because he said, number one, he is underpaid. Number two, he believes one of the reasons he's underpaid is because of the fact that he's black. So what I ended up doing was I actually searched for, I wanted to find out who are the highest paid sports analysts. And we actually were able to unearth an article here from 1033thegoat.com, right? And it actually has the list here. And here are the top 10 highest paid American sportscasters. At number 10, we have Skip Bayless at $8 million per year. At number 9, we have Mike Tirico at $10 million a year. We have Jim Nantz at $10.5 million a year. We have Stephen A. Smith at number 7 at $12 million per year. And then we have Joe Buck at $50 million per year. He's best known for his NFL and MLB play-by-play role on Fox Premier broadcast. Then we have Al Michaels at number 5, making $15 million per year. The legendary broadcaster struck a 3-year deal in 2022 to become the NFL play-by-play man for Amazon's Thursday Night Football package, paying him around $50 million annually. Then we have Michael Strahan, the former NFL player, former New York Giant. He's earning $17 million a year, to be fair. Some of Strahan's broadcasting salary comes from ABC's Good Morning America. The Pro Football Hall of Famer is known inside and outside the sports world, serving multiple broadcasting roles. He's an analyst on Fox NFL Sunday, as well as a host of ABC's game show Pyramid, among others. Then we have Troy Aikman. He's making $18 million a year. The former Dallas Cowboys quarterback has served as a color analyst for Fox lead NFL announcing team for the last 20 years. So that's how much he's making. And number 2, we have Tony Romo earning $18 million a year, who's a former Dallas Cowboy quarterback. And at number 1, we have Jim Rohn making $30 million per year. And he is earning that $30 million a year salary with, I believe, CBS. So number 1, it is clear that Stephen A. Smith is not, he's not like at the top of the top. I actually thought he was probably like in the top 5, but it turns out he's in the bottom 5. He's at number 7. Now, that's the first thing. So in terms of him feeling like he's being underpaid, an argument could be made for that, right? Because ESPN ESPN is a worldwide leader in sports. They certainly have the funds, but it's also fair to say that when he went on the I Am Athlete podcast, he spoke about the fact when they asked him about why Skip Bayless didn't return to ESPN First Take when his contract was up. And he said that ESPN has a reputation for being very frugal, right? With their money. They don't just spend money recklessly. So he said that about the network. And this is something that has been well documented over the years, right? So it's not like as if Stephen A. Smith doesn't know who he's working for, which makes it even more surprising, to be quite frank with you, that he went out there on national TV and said it in an unapologetic manner, because certainly he was referring to some of the higher ups at the network, basically the ones cutting the check. So that's the first thing, addressing the fact that whether or not he's underpaid. And finally, the part about him not being paid that amount of money because of his color. Well, some of the people at the top of the list certainly are white. You have Jim Rohn, you have Tony Romo, you have Troy Aikman, of course, you have Michael Strahan, and then you have Al Michaels. Now, here's what's important to mention, right? And I just want to make sure I get this information correct. Let me just actually FS1 deal. What I've noticed from this list is this. You can't compare yourself if you're an analyst. You cannot compare yourself to a former athlete. Former athletes always make more money. That is just the way it is. And the proof of this is actually from from today.com, basically saying when Tom Brady retires, I don't know if this is true or not, but that's what they're saying. Tom Brady, the star quarterback, reportedly signed a 10-year, $375 million deal to work with Fox Sports, right? That's Tom Brady. That's what, 30 something million. He's making 30 something million. A year, if I'm not mistaken. So is Tom Brady going to be working as much as Stephen A. Smith? Probably not, but he's Tom Brady. So to his point about him being underpaid, if he's comparing it with his counterparts that do the exact same thing that he does, I think he's on par with some of them. In terms of these other guys, these like former athletes, no, but that's a very unique situation. Former athletes, they're just going to make a lot of money. If LeBron James decided to go analyze basketball on ESPN, how much money do you think they'll pay him, right? So it is what it is. But you guys basically understand the story from now. So to me, he has a point, but it is what it is. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about what Stephen A. Smith had to say? What do you think about all the information we gave you guys here? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we catch you guys on the next one.